All right, welcome to Down the Middle Podcast, Battlers, where I'm getting straight into this because I'm pissed off. We just had half an episode. We talked about H has moved into his new house and he hasn't got MBN yet. And then I got what did we get? 20 minutes in, 15 minutes in, and then all of a sudden, bang! My internet just
Yeah,
drops out.
15.
I couldn't connect back on. I'm putting in the password, nothing worked. I hotspotted, and then something happened, and H jumps back on. I couldn't hear him, so we've gone back to Old Faithful. Okay, that's what we get for trying
Yeah.
something new. H, that's what we get for trying to do a new
Riverside, get fucked. Not going back to
Riverside.
that.
Riverside, jam it. Anyway, all right, we want to talk Origin. We want to look through the Origin teams and give you our opinions on the Origin teams. We're not stuffing around because we've just wasted 40 minutes, right? So we're getting into this battler. So this is short and sweet. H, you were running through the New South Wales team. Go, number one.
Mate, Dylan Edwards. As we said, we're going to do a rating system out of 10 for these musicians. Mate, yeah, Dylan Edwards, fullback. I said 9 out of 10. You said 10 out of 10. I think
10 out of 10.
try and
Easy.
bring the new era of fullback into the game. Brian Toe, I said a number 9 out of 10. He's always just a specialty Origin player.
I will agree 9 out of 10 as far as like he deserves it. I would have loved someone else, but I don't know who else could have been there realistically.
Well, this is what I mean, and this is my argument. It's like, well, if you don't want him there, who are you going to put him there?
That's exactly right. So there's no one else that can beat
him. In the first centre position, Stephen Crichton, he's been in pretty good form for the Dogs this year. Flew under the radar a little bit for me, but I think he'll do a good job.
I'm happy with it. 8 out of 10. Again, who else do you pick really? And I think he's got longevity in that position, in that side. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Especially with Latrell, Tommy Trbojevic, Bradman Best out, like sort of, their three names. Don't know. Maybe.
Did you have Bradman in your side?
Center anyway. Maybe this next week. I did have Bradman, and then obviously that following week got injured.
Himself.
So
yep.
Do too much. And mate, in the 4, Joseph Suoliti. If I thought he was going to make the side, I thought he would have made the wing, but he's made the centre. But we both said, obviously, 2 weeks ago in our episode that we would want him there if he was playing NRL next year.
Yeah.
Obviously going over to next year, so I still give it a solid 7 out of 10. But yeah,
I'd probably go a 6 again. Like I don't know. Lots of people go, oh, he's a generational talent. Like he's going to be great. Blah blah blah. I don't see that. If I compare him to a Nathan Cleary or I compare him to a few other faces in both sides, I just think, again, maybe like who else do you pick at centre? So fair enough. But seeing as he's only going to be able to, he's really only eligible for one series. I don't include him. I don't include him in my side, and I didn't for that reason. He'll have to really step up to impress me.
Definitely. Mate, your boy, only for this year, for another half a season, then he's not your boy. Zach Lomax, mate. I think he's been one of the more informed wingers this year, technically being a centre. The only thing I've probably got, we've got 2 small wingers. So no tall wingers.
Zach's pretty big.
How that's going to work.
Zach's a big fella. What do you mean?
Is he tall?
Yeah.
Is he tall?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll double check this. 190.
I've just never seen him in.
190, 94 kilos as far as his NRL bio is concerned.
So what's that? 6.2, 6'2"?
6'2", probably. If we compare to the other side, Xavier Coates, 194, 108 kilos, and Murray Tuolungi, 189, 103 kilos. So he's up there.
Okay. I'll retract that statement.
To'o's 182. Yeah. If he's short, he's taller than me. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, fair enough. Mate, I rate it and I don't rate it. I rate it because I like him as a footballer, but I don't rate it because Bucky does some dumb shit in some moments for the Dragons.
I was having a conversation with a colleague, maybe only yesterday, actually, talking about Zach, and I said to him, look, he's in good form. He throws some of those silly flick passes in years gone by when he's playing in centre. He's done much better on the wing. I think he's made less mistakes on the wing. He chases every ball. I think
Yeah,
he might be able to float if they have the right game plan. I think we'll see him not take too many of those outrageous chances unless it's do or die. The last couple of minutes of the
yeah,
game, and they need a win. Or if they're up by a million, you might see him throw a straight pass. But I think he'll be pretty. I think he'll be pretty
yeah,
composed. I think he likes his ego too much that he probably won't want to make too many mistakes.
yeah. Fair enough, mate. Then moving into 5'8" with Jerome Luai. Bit of a sort of I can see where they're coming from because another one hit with injuries. I think if Mitchy Moses played for 2 weeks, I think he would have got the six.
Yeah,
I think if Nathan Cleary was fit, I think Hines would have been the six.
yeah.
So I can see where they're coming from. It's going to be interesting to see how him and Hines work out. With my rating, I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10, just because I don't know. It's sort of
I think he's
going to
I
be
think he's
interesting.
very I think he's very lucky to be there. Again, probably both sides injury riddled
He has
as
had a
far
good
as
year though.
yeah. Yeah,
He's
you're probably
he's
right. I'm
stepped
probably
up
too
when
harsh on him.
no Nathan Cleary. You think
It's true.
he's roamed the field a little bit more, but
That's true.
Origin's different, obviously.
Well, look, I
Um,
don't think his history in Origins real crash hot. So this is probably his chance to prove himself on the big stage again, sort of thing.
yeah, definitely. Mate, then in the halfback position, Nico Hines had a little bit of a calf complaint last week, not finishing the game for my Sharkies. They reckon
Didn't
he had
didn't
scans. They
train
said
today?
he didn't train today.
I don't think so.
Um, but they reckon he'll be 100%. So
He's got a week. He should be able to
I
sort
like
that
it.
out, surely.
I like it. Yeah, you'd hope so. I like it because he's been in good form. I just I'd rather him be partnered with Nathan Cleary. I think I'd rather see that than obviously, but we can't say that because he's injured.
I like the announcement. I give it a 9 out of 10. I just really am intrigued as to the combination with the 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Look, Sharks lost to nil last week. Again, Nico hurt
Mm.
himself. He didn't play the whole game, did he? Had a HIA at one stage or
I think
something
he
as well.
played 30 minutes or something like that.
So, like, I'm just, yeah, I think he probably has to take control and work on that, considered kicking game, kicking into the right areas.
Mhm.
And I think maybe that means that Jerome Luai needs to probably add the flair, add the spark and make things happen, which I'm just hoping that combination can work.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens really.
Yeah.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Mate, the first prop and the new captain of the New South Wales Blues, mate, Jake Travojevic. He's a stalwart. He gets through his work, makes all the tackles. He won't give up. Like he'll give absolutely 110% to this team.
Yep.
It's a 10 out of 10 selection, but it's a 6 out of 10 for captain.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah,
Who would do you want to tell us
yeah.
who, or do you want to get through the 13 and then tell us who you would have captained?
Well, my captain is actually on the bench, so
Isaiah Yo?
yeah, I would
Nah.
have made him the captain. I would have started him. I would have
Nah,
started
I
Isaiah.
like it. I like it 9 out of 10 for both, for captaincy and for the number 8. I had the number 8, the number 9, and the number 10 all in those positions for my team. I like Jakey Travojevic. He puts his heart on the line. He is he is New South Wales. He is heart and soul. He's going to go out there and just absolutely do a
100%.
job. If we jump to the other prop in Payne Haas, I think we both agreed last week when I did you have Trebojevic and Haas as your props?
It's the only two props you can. If
Right.
anyone
So
went anyone else different.
and we said that these guys are 80-minute players week to week, and they're going to put in a huge amount of minutes for New South Wales, and that's obviously what gets them over the line even more. I think Jake Trbojevic is a fantastic choice at captain. I don't understand why you would go against that.
Oh, I don't know. If you're not captain for your club, how do you, I don't know, sort of make that jump to say, you
Who's
know what I
captain
mean?
for who's captain for the Seagulls?
Cherry Evans.
The other bloke who's captain for the other state side. So I don't agree with you. That's silly.
But anyway, Reece Robson, mate,
I'm
number
trying to
9.
channel
He's the
some
hooker.
Shane into this episode, mate.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, Reece Robson named at 9. I thought it was a little bit surprising. Maybe I didn't have him in my 17. I don't think he's had the best year. Cowboys been up and down. He's been up and down. But obviously, Happy being 32, Reece Robson a lot younger. I think this plays more of a just let these boys get the games in him at our Origin and just watch them grow.
Yeah, I think this, and I said it 2 weeks ago. I think this is the smart decision as far as Reece. Let's make this position yours. It certainly makes sense when we look further into the 11, 12, and the 13 role. That they kind of do have a backup hooker as well. That they can put into that rotation. So, whereas I don't know if Appy could have if Appy doesn't play at 9, he has to sit on the bench. I don't think he really goes and plays in any other position. Reece is probably the same, but I think he could probably, I don't know, could he do a job maybe in the second row or at lock? Maybe if they just had to time their rotation
maybe
right.
not in Origin.
Mate, yeah, you're probably right. Actually, you're probably right. Maybe he's not fit for that role, but I like the decision. He's 25. He's got another good 5 years. There's no other real hookers apart from Api Coruscant that you would really pick for a New South Wales side, is there? Like Blake Brayley was probably the only other one that was up and coming, but
if you want to go with the youth, probably him and Blake Brayley would be the front runners. But yeah. So, but I'm happy with it. Just stick to your guns. You know what I mean? Just if you're going to do it, die by it.
I think he's just got to go with
11.
good. Oh, yep, that's right. No worries. You just keep going, buddy. I'll just step out over here.
Nah, but yeah, I can understand where you're coming. Come back, mate.
Keep going. Go to 11 and 12 or 10.
Mate, 11 and 12. I think we both pay. Oh, we will pay in Haas. He's a 10 out of 10, but not too much really talk out of him. I don't think.
Easy.
Mate, 11 and 12. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton. Angus Crichton picked himself. He had an absolute stellar 6 weeks.
Yep.
10 out of 10. Liam Martin, I think he's a workhorse. He's another Jakey Trbojevic. He'll just go out there and leave everything on the field. He'll
100%.
run for days and tackle for days as well. And then probably the first more little surprise, not a surprise, but with just the way it all worked out with Cam McInnes getting the starting spot in the 13, mate. We both had him in our teams, but we both had him coming off the bench.
No. I had him at 13.
You did?
Yep. I think
Okay.
he was the obvious choice. I think he has really, really played himself into this jersey this year. He's gone back to probably what was previously his career best form when he was playing at the Dragons before he did his knee, where he was probably on the yeah, I'm going to say 2020,
19.
maybe 19, where he almost, I think he almost got a spot. He was in the squad, but he couldn't. I can't remember who he couldn't beat out. I'd have to. It might have even been when Jake Trbojevic was playing at lock. Don't know. I'd have to look into that. But he has really really worked hard at the Sharks to come back and really find his feet as a really good lock. So I think I was really surprised when you didn't have him as your starting 13, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I had Appy as my hooker, so I sort of didn't think we'd go a little bit of a different route. But it's a 10 out of 10 selection for me. He's been an absolute
Yeah, good,
fucking killer for
good.
my Shark. He's captain. So, then mate, the 14, Isaiah Yo, I think he's a lock into the Origin side as well. Not too much to talk about there, really. It's sort of just he does what he needs to do, and he's another bloke that will just keep going.
29 years old, Isaiah Yo. He's got a few more seasons left in him. I had him in my or coming off the bench. I had him at number 17. Um, I think as I said last week, I'd rather his energy coming off the bench for this year. With where both sides are at, I'd rather his energy coming off the bench. So I'm hoping that's a really good decision for a Madge.
Mate, then number 15, Olakau'atu. We both had him in our teams.
Yep.
He's been in pretty much best career form. He started that form late last year. He's carried over to this year. I think maybe a little bit unlucky not to start, but I think with Liam Martin and Crichton there, it's sort of pretty tough to put one of them to the bench. It's a 10 out of 10 selection for me.
So he played last year, yes?
No,
No, was
I
he in the
think
squad?
so. I think he was in the squad, but he never got into the 17.
Who am I thinking of? Oh,
He's
Tavita
always sort
Pang.
of not
I'm thinking
20,
of Tavita Pangai. Sorry, I was thinking of Tavita Pangai, but he's gone now. Yep. No, I like it.
Um,
I think that's a good bench spot.
mate, then 6, I think it's probably the biggest surprise out of probably all
Yeah.
the selections, mate. Spencer Lenu had 8 weeks off. He's only played 4 games.
Mm.
I can see where Madge is going. I think he wants that mongrel in the boys, full fire up. They're going to get angry, run straight, just work hard for the minutes that they're on the field. And I think another younger guy as well. So you can definitely see where Madge is trying to go with his team.
I think, yeah, especially like that announcement. I think he's trying to set up his team for the next couple of years. You know, it obviously
Yeah.
is injury riddled, and there are blokes that probably can walk back in if they're fit. But these sorts of guys, Leniu, Robson, um, those guys are really being named, I think, to be able to play for the next 3, 4, 5 years, depending. But I don't
100%.
mind it. I was surprised, but I don't mind it.
Yeah. There's always one surprise, really, isn't there, with
Yeah.
the whole team selection, especially for New South Wales. Mate, then the 17, Hudson Young. He's been in good form as well. It's a little bit of a weird bench having 2 13s real, 13-8, and then 2 second rowers. I can sort of see he's maybe going for a bit of a versatility role.
So Leniu
So
a front
it's
rower, Olakau'atu a second rower, and then Young and Yo typically playing at lock, yeah, for their club. Is that right?
Hudson's a second row as well.
Oh, he's a second rower. So okay, so two
Hudson's a
second
12 as well.
rowers, a 13 and a prop. I actually like that we've gone away from that utility idea. Obviously, we've got Robson and McInnes that can sort of swap around, and then Yo that can go in and play lock. Or I think he played a bit of front row last year, didn't he?
I think a little bit, yeah.
So like it's
So
okay, but I like that we're not necessarily carrying, the next bloke on the list, Matt Burton at number 18. I actually like that we're not carrying someone like that on the bench. at this point in time, even though I
Yeah.
had a utility on my bench for when we announced our teams.
Yeah. Yeah, and then mate, with 18th man, Matt Burton, 19th man, Luke Keary, Mitch Barnett, and named at 20. I think I maybe would have gone with Matt Burton in the 6 after Moses not playing.
Yeah, that's what I had.
But we'll see what happens. And obviously Luke Keary's on standby for Nico Hines.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
Or,
what they say. If he
yeah.
doesn't play, then
Barnett on standby for who else had a niggle? Liam Martin. Liam Martin. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Liam Martin was training today. Being that Wednesday the 29th. So watch this space. Two of those blokes could come into the side depending on fitness, which would be very interesting. Would you have still held a utility role in your side?
McInnes would have been my utility.
And so that
more,
pretty much says it. Yeah, that's fine. We pretty much do have the utility starting.
Pretty much what Queensland do. If Harry Green comes on, Hunt moves at 13 for a little bit to give up some of the other boys rest, and they sort of have that playmaker still on the field.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Overall team selection out of 10. Overall team selection out of 10.
8.5.
Yep. I'm sticking at an 8.5 too. I think
8.5.
The only reason that I can't give it any higher is because, obviously if certain players were fitter or uninjured, there would be automatic omissions. It's not as if any of these guys, would really, or some positions, and I'm mainly looking at the halves. It's not as if Cleary was fit or even Moses was fit that these guys would necessarily keep their positions. Run through the Queensland team really quickly, and then we'll just talk about any shocks or who you think's definitely deserve it. The one, Reece Walsh, that's pretty obvious why. The two wingers, Xavier Coates and Murray Tuolungi. I thought maybe Tuolungi. I was a bit surprised at, but I was trying to think of who else would replace him. That was all.
Well, he played there last year, so I think they're just picking and sticking.
Kyle Felt's too old. Rather go the other Cowboy winger.
Yeah.
Anyway, two centers, which I thought was two good announcements. Val Holmes and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. Those guys are in bloody great form at the moment.
Yep.
Obviously a bloke that gets a run probably because of someone else's injury. Tommy Dearden named at 6, and then Daly Cherry-Evans named at 7. Daly picks himself every day of the week. I like Tommy Dearden though. I like that. It'd be very interesting to see what happens when Daly Cherry-Evans maybe hangs up the boots. He's probably got a couple of years left in him though, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they do if they put Tommy Dearden at 7, keep Munster at 6, or they don't really have a halfback coming through.
Yeah, Dearden and Munster both play 6 for their club, don't they?
Yeah.
And they're probably much more a traditional 6. So anyway, that's fine. They got Cherry-Evans for the moment, so whatever. Ruben Cotter named at prop, which it'd be interesting to see what his minutes are like and what the rotation looks like once we get further down, especially to the bench. Benny Hunt named at 9. I thought he was going to come off the bench, but he's been named at 9 as far as the NRL app is concerned. I think there was a story of Harry Grant maybe carrying a niggle too, and whether or not Ben Hunt did. Oh, he's ill, was he? He was a bit crook.
I mean, it's like bullshit. They just want that underdog fucking shit status. Ridiculous.
They had that story written 2 weeks ago, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins at 10. I think Lindsay Collins is really he almost picks himself every time too in prop.
Yeah.
a really deserved State of Origin jersey, I thought, even though it's for the opposing team. Jaden Su'A in the 11 jersey. He has been phenomenal for the Dragons. It's very, very disappointing that he's in a underperforming side. He's just re-signed for the Dragons, which is great for me. But I love that he'll bring back a bit of Origin experience to the squad too.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick. He's a bit of a loose cannon. He does some good things for the Dragons, but he can also implode a little bit with sort of going too hard in the tackles. But I think it'll be a good inclusion.
Last year he was a bit more hit and miss. I like to focus on a lot more of the positives. This year he's probably tightened up a fraction. But I do agree with you. He's got a bit of mongrel about him where he just gives away a penalty and you just go, mate, what are you doing? That you just played like 6 great minutes and then you give away a stupid penalty. But that might work in his favour playing State of Origin, so we'll see. The 12 and the 13 pick themselves. Jeremiah Nanai, he's going very good the last couple of years, and Paddy Carrigan, you can't go past him in the 13 role. The bench looks probably a little bit different. Absolutely. Paddy Carrigan, best 13 in the game. Harry Grant going to come off the bench, and that'll probably. I think Ben and Harry just pretty much do a straight swap in State of Origin. Did Ben go into 13? Historically, they have. They've started with Harry Grant and they get Ben to come off the bench, and I think they probably will again.
I think so. I think they will. I think if Ben starts, we'll then go into 13 when Harry comes on.
Do you reckon he will?
Well, they have done that a couple of times. I think it all depends on the game as well. If we've had like a fast 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to technically say, but
again, the beauty of State of Origin where you just pick your best players and you just sort of slot them in to wherever they can play. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that one unfolds. Fodawaker in the 15, he's very solid, and Jermaine Hopgood in the 16, again, very, very solid. Jermaine Hopgood has had a fantastic 12 months. So there, obvious omissions of Tino being injured. A big snub to David Fafita, I thought.
I'd have him in there. I'd get Fodawaker out. He's shit. I'm sorry, but fuck, has he done anything this year? Like, I don't know. I could be.
Well, actually,
pro there.
You know what? Considering he's in the same side as David Fafita, yeah, I think I'd probably rather have Fafita.
You look at the Titans games. Fodawaker's not putting them on the front foot to fucking win that game.
Also,
he's getting that ball and he's running. You know,
Fafita's scored half their points this year. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. At one stage, he scored about 6 tries in 3 weeks.
So yeah, I think you can easily do that switch. But yeah,
good point. The interesting number 17 was Selwyn Cobbo for me. I don't get it.
I think it's a bit of X factor to come off the bench with 20 to go. I think let's put him on and let him run.
Who would you take off to put him in? Let's say, for instance, just look at the starting side. If there's 20 to go and Queensland are down by 12, and you turn to Selwyn and you say, mate, I need you to go on there and cause havoc. Who do you pull off to put Selwyn Cobbo on? Just if you think about just the starting side, we got back to the rotation. The starting side is as is. Who do you pull off to put Selwyn Cobbo
on? Probably one of the second rowers. I would probably
Su'A, Nanai?
Probably take Su'A. Yeah, I'd probably drop Su'A off to the bench in the last 20.
And just let Cobbo maybe play like another roaming fullback.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Because he is really only an outside back for me, or a fullback.
Yeah, I think you can't make him play a forward position and expect him to take hit ups, but I think you can expect him to roam around.
If it was Reece Walsh or Kalen Ponga, I'd get it because I think they have a little bit more. But I just see Selwyn Cobbo as only having a running game.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
agree.
anyway. 18, 19, 20, don't really care about Felice Kafusi, Brendan Piakura, and Ezra Mam. I don't think any of those guys will see the field, and that's fine. Which way do you see it going? We are a week away, playing at a core stadium. Which way do you see it going? Oh, he doesn't want
New
to say
South
it.
Wales. I'll say New South Wales. 28. Oh, is that too high? Probably too high.
28. It's a shitload of points.
22-16. I'll bump
Okay.
down a little bit.
Okay. I don't think it'll be that high scoring. I'm tipping maybe New South Wales 16-14. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think New South Wales can run away with it. I'd love to see them do it, but looking at the side and knowing that there's a couple of injuries, hoping that it's all just talk, who's going to play where if things go wrong, I think the best result I see in my head is like a lower scoring, only winning by 2 or 4. So I'm going to go 16-14 New South Wales.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Fair enough.
H, we said we're going to keep it short and sweet. Our man Blandy. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
100%.
Everyone get behind Richard Bland. He's our mate from the UK that we spoke to. Geez, going back a few weeks now, 5 or 6 weeks ago now. Gets an invite to go and play the senior PGA, and just from, what did you say? From post to post, wire to wire, takes it out and wins. That we got it. I'm going to give him a round of applause. Up you go,
definitely.
Blandy. One of the nice guys too.
Yeah. Technically, it'd be his second win on as a professional.
Well, yeah. Is that so? So that's the Champions Tour, the US PGA Champions Tour. Is that right? I don't know.
It's a major. It's a major. It's a major.
He's a freaking major winner. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know what they get. I know obviously he's not going to get exemption to the senior tour. They came out 2 hours after he fucking won it and said, nope. Obviously, being ridiculously, because unfortunately he's from LIV, so he can't get the exemptions. But I don't know if you win on the senior tour major if you get invites into the other majors. I'm not quite to the PGA.
I'm having a look. I'm trying to find.
But
so he gets denied the customary PGA Tour Champions exemption.
Yep.
Typically, the winner of the senior PGA Champs, one of the senior tour's 5 annual majors, gets a 1-year exemption onto the PGA Tour Champions circuit. That is unless most of your playing time is spent on LIV Golf. So Rich, that's the same. That's what happened to Bland. Whatever, I can't really find anything else in it. Most players would earn a whole lot more senior starts as a result. Bland did earn a few, so he's got a spot in the next year's senior PGA and at least one more 2024 senior major, the US Senior Open. So he got something. But the senior PGA and US Senior Open are not owned and operated by the PGA Tour Champions. Remember we were talking about this last week or the last episode about what
PGA champion.
Augusta is separate to the US Open, and it's not necessarily run by the PGA and blah blah blah. So
the majors aren't run by the PGA Tour.
He'll get something. So he got 630K. He got.
Very nice.
Also, here's a stat: he's made 9.8 million since joining LIV. Nice. So we got to talk to Richard Bland, who's pocketed 9.8 million in the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. Good on him.
Richard, if you want to put 50 grand into me, I won't say no.
Rich, if you want to sponsor the podcast, reach out. Maybe we'll
Maybe
reach
the
out to
sector.
you.
But yeah, no, it was good to see. We sort of having a talk to him. He sort of, he's been around the game for a bit, and he's a very likable guy, sort of knowledgeable. So no, it's good to see that he got an exemption. He took both hands with it and got the win.
Absolutely. And then in other golf news, we've got Lexi Thompson, who probably not many battlers out there would know much about Lexi. I remember watching a fair bit of Lexi's golf as a kid because I think she's the same age as us, pretty much. And she's retiring. She's retiring. And as Shano found out, he thought it was a typo. She's playing in her 18th US Open this weekend. She's only 29. She played her first at 11 years old. That is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, and that's you probably look at that and you go, oh, she's been around the game for a bit. And I think what Shano said as well, maybe in situations she might fall pregnant in the next year or so. So then do that and then come back. Obviously a possibility, or other things have come up, or you don't really know someone
Yeah.
what they're doing.
I think, look, the fact that she turned pro at 15, I'm not going to knock women's golf or women's sport because, I'm a massive advocate for it. But I think maybe the just the opportunities that she got as a young person to be able to even play in all those tournaments, I think she's probably got heaps of golf left in her. So even if she takes a bit of a spell now, I'm very, very confident that she is one of the best women golfers and probably one of the best golfers out there. That if she wanted to come back in 5, 10 years, or if she doesn't want to come back, doesn't matter. But if she wanted to come back, she'd be able to just slot back in and compete. Similar to what we've seen sort of Anthony Kim do on Live. I know he's not competing at the highest, up against those blokes. He's still coming, last. But I think she could really, really do that. Last year, I think she made she nearly made the cut. She was nearly one of the first women to make the cut on the PGA Tour on the men's. I think she had one over or something. So, man, she's a ripper of a golfer. So, anyway, watch this space. Pretty good. She's won a major. She's had 15 wins or 11 wins or something. So, good on her.
Being well number one, I would say.
I think so. Could be wrong,
Mm.
but anyway, good on her.
But, yeah.
Running out of minutes here, H. Running out of minutes, quite literally. Footy this week, couple of buys. Give us your tips. You've got about 30 seconds. Give us your tips.
Mate, my Sharks bounced back this week against Parramatta Eels. If all the people out for the Bulldogs, I'm going to go the Newcastle Knights to win. Then what's the third game? Because I'm trouble voting.
5:30 game on Saturday. Panthers, Dragons. Panthers will win that one. Dragons will get pumped.
Yep. Panthers. Dolphins.
Raiders.
Go the Raiders. Yeah, I'm going to go the Raiders. Actually, I think
okay.
without the hammer, I don't think they'll get the job done. And then the Sydney Roosters will clean up the Cowboys 13+.
I think so. That means the Seagulls, Titans, Rabbitohs, Broncos, Storm, West Tigers, and Warriors have the bye. Check your Supercoach teams. I've got to do some serious work on my Supercoach team.
That's what happens when you don't finish your team for a month.
Shut up. Anyway, Battlers, that's all for us. We're going to do, we keep saying it, but we're going to do a Down the M's update very, very soon. We might extend our leaderboard before we go behind closed doors. That is all coming. Talk to you soon.